Yo, what's going on, guys? We are back today for video number 2, and we're going to be jumping into the brand new deep dives for our month of June, Pride Month. We have a lesbian couple from the Runaways, Karolina Dean and Nico Minoru. I did watch the first season of Runaways like a long time ago, like years and years ago, and I liked it, but then I think like there was quite a long period between the next season, and then by that time, like, I'd already forgotten about what even happened in season 1. I never watched it, so like I'm not really too invested in either of these characters personally, but I'm curious to see their impact on the contest. So let's go ahead and get started with Karolina Dean first. She's a cosmic champion. Personally, right at the gate, I'm a little bit more intrigued and excited about Nico. I feel like I'm looking for a mystic banger to like take to rank 4. And right now I don't think there's any mystic in the game that I really want to take up. So hoping maybe she's something really cool and special and I really like her. I don't know. And I also think she's already going to be a Dark Phoenix counter. So that's another reason why I'd want her. But let's start with Karolina. So let's get right into it.
What's going on, summoners? We're back here today with another champion deep dive.
Show it to me, Mike.
Today, we're talking about Karolina Dean.
And I also pretty much skipped through like all of the gameplay they showed on the live stream. I didn't really watch any of that, so like this is brand new, fresh content completely for me. So I'm pretty curious. Whoa! That's some big damage. Okay. I like that little clip there. Cool. All right.
Karolina Dean enters the contest with Majestanian physiology.
What the heck is that? Never heard that before. Interesting. So 100% resistance to incinerate effects. So it can still apply to her. And they do not lower her block for incinerate. Okay. So like she can just heal from it with willpower essentially. It doesn't really seem like negatives. It's cool.
Granting her 100% resistance to incinerate effects.
Kind of like Mephisto a little bit.
Incinerates don't lower her block proficiency or remove her perfect block chance. She also has a youthful pep in her step, granting her an indefinite instinct buff, allowing her to parry non-contact attacks.
Oh,
solar energy
that's gonna be good against Zola for sure. That's a brand new buff. Interesting. She seems like very floaty, super duper floaty.
Used body also causes her attacks to deal energy damage, and grants her immunity to special lock, power lock, cold snap, and frostbite effects. Now,
not bad.
Karolina can absorb indefinite iridescence buffs from the sun as it shines down in various locations across the stage.
The sun.
After appearing briefly, the sun fades away before appearing again in a new location. She starts each with 2 iridescence buffs, and they max out at 15. This buff has no effect, but it allows Karolina to perform her abilities.
Okay.
It also brightens up her day. While basking in the sun, she gains 1 iridescence buff every 0.65 seconds, and as an attacker, stands absolutely still. She also gains a power gain buff, granting 2% of a bar of power each second for each iridescence buff up to 6. Additionally, charging a heavy in the sun after landing a non-combo ending attack inflicts a stun passive for 2.2 seconds. This stun cannot have its duration modified by tech champions. And
get wrecked, shocker.
Karolina activates a special while in the sun. She gains an unblockable buff for the duration of the special.
Okay.
Whenever Karolina blocks a hit, she consumes iridescence based on the attack to grant herself a glancing buff for the duration of the attack.
Glancing too?
When the opponent glances, their damage is reduced by 85%. And
wow.
Offensive ability accuracy
wasn't expecting that.
Reduced by 40%.
Interesting.
If the attack was a light or medium, she consumes 1 buff. If it was a special 1, she consumes 3. And if it was a special 2, she consumes 6 iridescence buffs.
Just glance at all. Damn, dude, that's lit. What?
She inflicts
that's
a
7.5%
energy vulnerability passive for 15 seconds for each buff consumed, maxing out
at 6?
6 stats.
Thought so.
Now, let's check out her special attacks.
How'd you get all that incinerate damage. Show me that.
Special 1, Karolina gains 8 iridescence buffs over the course of this attack.
That's a lot.
With the Special 2, each hit consumes 1 iridescence to inflict 1 personal incinerate passive.
Okay, so the Special 2, big cash in.
14 seconds, are paused during special attacks, and max out at 12 stacks. As a defender, personal incinerates scale with base attack only and only deal half damage. And during her special attacks, personal incinerates deal no damage. Instead, each of her special attack hits inflict an instant incinerate for each personal incinerate active, dealing a burst of energy damage per bar of power spent.
That's Special 3 do, baby.
The Special 3. At the end of this attack, she consumes up to 12 iridescence buffs to inflict 12 personal incinerate passes.
Damn.
She also gains a non-stop 10% intensify buff for 24 seconds. And while this is active, Karolina generates iridescence buffs 35% faster while in the sun.
Jeez.
Now, let's check out her signature ability.
The Special 3 sounds pretty nice. I like that. Ooh, what does the SIG do? I like to just read it myself first. Let me see here. Okay, get some pulverize. Okay. Let's let Mike explain.
She consumes 6 iridescence buffs to resist a block break and grants herself a glancing buff for the duration of the attack. Additionally,
that's nice, dude.
Buffs, her personal incinerates also pulverize 1 armor up effect. And for each iridescence buff, she gains up to 5% increased incinerate potency, up to 6 buffs. Now, let's go out for a spin in the
bro, she's looking really good. She's surpassing my expectations.
To begin,
my expectations are pretty low, but
keep in mind, your buff allows you to parry non-contact attacks. Strike the opponent and charge your heavy to bask in the sunshine and start building up your iridescence buffs. Follow the sun and repeat this process as you build up to your Special 2. And once you're ready, launch to consume your buffs and inflict your passive incinerate.
Damn, that was so much damage, dude.
You have some stacked. You can try to block a special to consume some more buffs and stack on your energy vulnerability. And after spending some more time in the sun, launch another Special 2 and watch the opponent burst before your eyes. If the opponent isn't already knocked out, launch a Special 1 to burst them down some more. And hey, if the opponent happens to have a lot of armor, you have that useful pulverize at your disposal from your signature ability, letting you burst away those armors each time you inflict a personal incinerate. So, don't let those tech champions scare you. Use that armor to your advantage and light up the sky as you melt away the competition. Thank you for watching this champion deep dive for Karolina Dean. And hey, if you liked the video and want to see more, click subscribe.
I didn't know these are their superhero names.
And share. And if you haven't already, join the official Marvel contest. Sister
Grimm and Lucy in the Sky. Lucy in the Sky sounds kind of weird. Sister Grimm though, like damn, that sounds kind of cool. I'm just gonna drop. If you know what that means, you know what that means. It has to do with the sun. All right, dude, wow, really weird but cool. Like, really interesting kit. Pretty sure this was Honeydew's champion. They did an incredible job. Wow. Really, really unique with the whole sun mechanic and everything. I'm intrigued. I'm definitely intrigued. All right, let's see Nico now. This was the one I was initially really excited about, but damn, she's gonna have to be pretty good to impress me more than Karolina. All right, let's go.
We're back here today with another champion deep dive. Today, we're talking about Nico Minoru.
Those wings look sick.
So, sit back and relax, because it's time to get into it.
Acid burn? Acid burn? Bro, that was iBomb's unique thing. Damn. They gave it to someone else. How dare they?
As a powerful blood mage. Each time she gains a total of 5% of her max adrenaline, she gains a 20% fury passive for 15 seconds. These max out at 7 stacks.
Wait, what?
As a defender, Nico stores 40% of all damage taken as adrenaline. While she has more than 5% of her max health stored as adrenaline, she gains an indefinite flourish passive, increasing her ability power rate by 15%. As an attacker, the first hit of Nico's heavy consumes 7% of her current health and stores it as adrenaline.
What?
And the final hit
What?
for heavy attack,
What? I don't like this. Wait, what?
With a special 1 or 2, she gains a Zeal passive, lasting for 6.
Before you go any further, I am already now extremely skeptical, bro. I don't like champions that consume their health as part of abilities. So I'm gonna give her a try. It might be not as bad as I'm thinking. I'm just gonna put out there that I'm very, very skeptical.
With a special 1 or 2, she
watching.
gains a Zeal passive, lasting for 6 seconds. Zeal effects prevent adrenaline from decaying while active. When Nico activates any special attack, she passively converts up to 4% of her max health stored as adrenaline into health. This conversion scales with the level of special attack used. Don't worry about finishing a fight without converting that leftover adrenaline, because Nico will enter the next fight of the quest with 100% of the adrenaline she finished the previous fight with.
Okay, but what about Battlegrounds, dude? What about Battlegrounds? There is no next fight in Battlegrounds for the same champion.
And, on top of that, the personal furies gained from the stored adrenaline gain 200% increased duration. Now, Nico's heavy charge and her third light attack place an indefinite pentacle buff on the opponent.
Pentacle?
Pentacle buffs
That's a weird name.
the inherent harmony of the natural world, but sadly have no in-game effect. Nico passively gains 2% of her max power whenever the opponent gains any buff. But when 1 or more buffs are removed or prevented by immunity, she gains 3% of her max power instead. She also gains 1% of her missing health as stored adrenaline. Nico doesn't benefit from the Mystic Dispersion Mastery. Instead, each rank increases the base potency of her personal power gains by 10%. She can also inflict an 11-second buff immunity debuff with her special 2 that is refreshed whenever.
So I did hear that she had buff immunity. The second champion ever to have it, after Black Widow Clairvoyant. Very, very powerful ability.
She launches a special. While defending, this effect becomes passive, and she can't apply her buff immunity if it is already active.
It's a big sneeze. Whew.
Nico is magically bound to the Staff of 1, and it allows her to cast potent pre-fights before.
So, immunity to poison and rupture. Replace personal poison with incinerates.
Before entering a fight. Each pre-fight
What was the first one?
allows her to
Inflict buff immunity at the start of the fight. That's insane.
cast potent pre-fights before entering a fight. Each pre-fight lasts until the opponent is defeated, and can only be cast once per quest. Nico's Unworthy spell allows her to inflict her personal buff immunity at the start of the fight. While defending, she always casts the Unworthy spell. Her Absorb spell grants her a 55% Stimulate passive while blocking, which increases her combat adrenaline by the listed amount. Her Ward spell grants her immunity to poison and rupture effects. And her Burn spell replaces her poison effects with Incinerates, but these Incinerates deal 30% less damage. Now, let's check out her special attacks. On activation of the Special 1, she inflicts a Halt passive for 13 seconds that is refreshed whenever she launches a special. Additionally, the final hit deals a burst of energy damage increased by 20% for each damaging effect on the opponent, up to 10. This burst can trigger through block, and as a defender, the total potency is reduced by 50%. After the final hit, Nico gains an invisibility passive for 4 seconds. As an attacker, if Nico causes an attack to miss, this invisibility goes on cooldown for 15 seconds. With the Special 2, Each hit inflicts a 30-second poison debuff paused during the opponent's special attacks. If a cosmic opponent is immune to any of Nico's poisons, she inflicts a matching acid burn instead.
What? That's crazy, dude.
The hit inflicts Nico's personal buff immunity. As a defender, the buff immunity applies on activation.
Just came out of her? What the heck? What the caught me off guard.
The Special 3. This attack
pretty cool animation, though.
Increased attack rating for each damaging effect on the opponent. Additionally, the first time this attack is used each fight, Nico increases the duration of her personal effects by 50% for the rest of the fight. Now, let's check out her signature ability.
What else does she have?
Whenever a buff or personal effect on the opponent other than poison is removed or prevented by immunity, Nico inflicts a 12-second poison passive. These max out at 20 stacks. Additionally, personal effects on the opponent are paused during Nico's special attacks. And whenever Nico causes an attack to miss, she gains adrenaline of up to 2% of her max health.
Ooh, I like that.
0.5 second cooldown.
I do like that.
Now, let's take her out for a spin in the champion rotation. To begin, strike the opponent and focus on your third light attack to start placing your pentacle buffs on the opponent.
Pentacle.
You can also
sounds so weird to me.
Attacks to consume health and store it as adrenaline. So
why would you want to do that?
Furies. Don't worry.
Oh, to get the Furies?
That Zeal passive will prevent your adrenaline from decaying. Continue this process as you build to your special 2.
And then you get it all back?
Once available to stack on your poisons and activate your buff immunity. From here, use your special 1 to burst the opponent and go invisible, then just repeat until they're knocked out. Now, if you're up against an opponent with a lot of buffs, you might want to activate her Unworthy spell pre-fight, allowing her to start the fight with her buff immunity debuff active, so you could get the ball rolling against those pesky cosmics without fear of dealing with any of their buffs, and punishing them whenever they try to gain one. And hey, if you're looking for some poison or rupture immunity, you might be interested in activating that ward spell, allowing her to take some defenders and nodes she otherwise wouldn't be able to. But keep in mind, each of these pre-fights can only be used once per quest, so be sure to scout ahead to plan out how you want to cast those spells. Thank you for watching this champion deep dive.
Holy
Nico Minoru.
fudge!
And hey, if you like the video and want to see more, click subscribe.
I'm convinced.
Like, comment, and share. And if you haven't already, join the official Marvel Contest of Champions Discord and come discuss. And remember, we'll see you in the battle.
Oh my, that is hilarious. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Oh man. Dude.
During Nico's special.
I wanna. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I wonder how she's gonna do against Deathless Thanos. Because Deathless Thanos, you know, he has poison immunity, but she can just apply the freaking acid burn. And she has the Halt, which is gonna counter the counter punch. I'm pretty sure Halt allows you to hit into unstoppable opponents. It's like kind of like Grit, but like you put it on the opponent, and Grit is on you. I think that's the only difference. But they do like the same thing. But dude, this serpent fight, I want to watch this back. That was, dude.
You can also work in some heavy attacks to consume health and store it as adrenaline.
I still don't love this, but it seems like you can get it all back. So it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, and that's how you get your Furies. So that makes sense.
Your Furies. Don't worry, that Zeal passive will prevent your adrenaline from decaying. Continue this process as you build to your special 2, and launch once available to stack on your poisons and activate your buff immunity.
Buff immunity is so OP, dude. Buff immunity is so OP.
Use your special 1 to burst the opponent and go invisible, then just repeat until they're knocked out.
And you just healed up. Like,
burst the opponent and go invisible, then just
look at this. Look at this, just healing. Cause yeah, you apply the buff immunity and then he can't activate his true focus. Dude, oh my god.
until they're
And then
knocked out.
buff immunity, so he doesn't get his goddamn death immunity.
Knocked out.
He's immune to his own death immunity. Dude, okay, I'm gonna need to get this champ. She's not gonna be in the next Titan, but dude, this is a Mystic champion I could absolutely see myself taking up to rank 4. She also kind of strikes me as a little bit of an annoying defender. So yeah, dude, yeah, this champ looks so broken, so meta relevant right now. And they didn't show any Dark Phoenix, but I think she's going to be really good for Dark Phoenix. Poison is what you want to have when you fight Dark Phoenix, especially as a Mystic champion. So yeah, dude, I am sold. I am convinced. I think Karolina, she looks really cool, and some really cool new mechanics being introduced, and I'm excited. But this chick, the goth baddie, just, dude, oh my goodness. Damn. June looking pretty crazy. Our Pride Month champions, god damn, dude, looking good. It's gonna go ahead and wrap it up for the second video of today, the deep dive breakdowns. Let me know in the comment section down below which champion you are more excited for, Karolina or Nico. Me, I'm Team Nico all the way. The bar was already set super high, and she's far surpassed it. Like, wow, that's crazy. Buff immunity, Claire 2.0, like, just, wow. Yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed my thoughts, my analysis. Drop a like if you subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content. Thanks so much for watching. I love you guys so much. So good to be back. Peace.